I just want to let you know these guys are going to be huge. I'm talking major label huge. These guys are going to be big. You're going to love them.
You're old.
That's
Dude.
wild. That's so wild.
We helped Eric with the other day. He like texted me asking if we had an air compressor thing. Did he tell you about this?
I think you did.
Did I tell you about this? Oh, okay. And we were blowing up the tire in his truck, and it was so funny because Chris was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be 30 this year," and I was like, "I'm gonna be 28," and he goes, "God damn, you guys are old."
How old is he? Like
22.
Yeah, I guess that does seem like a pretty significant
It's just
age gap at that
funny.
point.
He's just like, God damn.
He's like,
That's
oh
like
my
a
god,
third of our life.
that's crazy.
Difference.
Yeah.
In age.
Wait, what?
6 years, 7 years is like a
yeah,
third
that's
of.
crazy. Yeah, that's
our life.
true.
Really?
Whoa.
Yeah, 22,
6 times 3?
18, but
Oh.
Like
I was
7.
thinking like 7 years.
Yeah, 7.
21.
3. Crazy.
However you want to do the math. If you
Yeah.
want to round up,
I prefer not to do math.
I don't blame you. Do math, not
Ever.
math.
Do math. Simple. Simple mistakes. Okay. Please cut that out.
I don't even know what you said.
I think I know what you were trying to say.
Wait, is that recording? You saw it recording
Yours?
when you got
Yeah,
up? Yeah.
but it looks a little
sideways. I think it looks
tilted.
great.
It's okay. Doesn't
Looked
matter.
fine when we were up there. Do you want me to go adjust it?
Nah.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
it's fine.
I will start us off then. All right. Hi everyone. Before we start the episode today, we would like to share with you today's episode sponsor, Angus Auto. Do you like cars? Do you
Sure do.
like watching car builds? Or do you like wearing comfortable shirts with cool car designs? Head over to angusauto.com and check out the quality merch and link to their YouTube channel. Use code FAM10 for 10% off of your order today. That's FAM10 for 10% off of your order today. Thank you to Angus Auto for sponsoring the show. Welcome to another episode of Relatively Funny, where two sisters and one brother share their interests with one another. I'm Emma.
I'm Mackenzie.
And I'm Carson.
And today we're back with a new series of topics. But before we get into our topics, let's share what we've been listening to.
I don't like that you keep looking at me.
Yeah,
I'm the general. I'm looking at both of them.
Yeah.
It's,
but-
I'm
Carson
I'm
keeps being like, like he's put on the spot.
sorry. I'll go like
There you
this.
go.
I'll cover
Thank
my
you.
eyes. Does that make you feel more comfortable? Okay.
Yeah.
Before we get into our topics, let's share what we've been listening to this week, what we're drinking, and our deepest, darkest secrets. Oh,
Look
wait.
at me.
Just kidding. Okay,
Wait,
who
what?
wants to go first?
Oh my
I like
gosh.
that rendition.
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, what am I doing?
Your deepest, darkest secret. I mean,
So, when I was 8,
you-
I...
no, what you've been listening to and what you're drinking.
Okay. Well, I'm drinking my strawberry banana protein smoothie and water. Yeah. And I've been listening to a lot of different people. I'm just going to list them off.
Perfect.
Sam Fender, The National, Them and I, Snow Patrol, Velvet Underground, The Smiths,
Ooh.
and Dave Matthews Band.
Nice.
Love that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm drinking. Shall I go on to me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm drinking a sugar-free vanilla cold brew from Dutch Bros, and it has sweet cream on top. It took them a very long time to make it, but it's yummy.
Were they mixing it by hand or what?
I don't know. I think they were training somebody, so
Oh.
I was just like sitting there, and the girl at the window was not particularly chatty, so she was watching them make it, so I was watching them make it, and Winnie was with me, and she was just like sitting there staring in there, waiting for the bone that she never got. But that's fine.
no.
They didn't offer, and then I was like nervous to ask because the girl did not want to chat that much.
Oh no.
So it's kind of like, okay, I guess we're not getting a bone, and we're sitting here watching them make our drink.
Sorry,
but they did
Winnie.
great. And I have been listening to the same things that I always listen to. I haven't been listening to SZA that much this week, though.
Whoa.
I've been listening to my gym playlist, which is Ice Spice, Coi Leray, and who else? Oh, Bia, B-I-A. I really don't know anything about her, but I like some of her songs that are now on my playlist. That's pretty much it.
Do you know Biba Doobie? Do you like her?
I like the songs that you've sent me. And I listened to one other that was like popular on TikTok for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't
she's
know
really
her
good.
well. Biba Doobie. I remember someone on Love Island saying that that was his favorite artist. And I was like, oh my gosh, I know who that is. But it just sounded so funny coming from this guy's mouth. Like, my
Yeah.
favorite artist is Biba Doobie. And everyone's
Is
like,
that-
who?
Is that someone's name? Oh,
Yeah, it's an
Stage
artist.
name, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a stage. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure. I don't think it's.
I don't think that was her birth name.
No.
But I don't know.
Oh, doobie is in like a doobie.
No.
No.
It's one word.
One
Biba
word.
Doobie.
Biba Doobie.
It's really weird.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You
She's
know,
great though.
okay, I had the weirdest dream. I guess. I don't know what was happening, but I gave someone a nickname Spice Ice because I thought, I don't know.
It's a good one.
I don't know. I was like, in my dream, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I really thought I was doing something because it was like, well, there's Ice Spice.
Ooh.
So you're going to be
Spice Ice.
Spice
Who
Ice.
was it?
No idea. I don't think I've ever seen that person before in my life. But, and that's the only context I remember. Once you said Ice Spice, I was like, wait, hold on.
That reminds me of my new friend.
In the
Spice
dream,
Ice.
were you just walking by and you saw this person and you're like, hold on?
I don't
I
remember
gotta-
anything else about the dream
Oh, okay.
except for the Spice Ice part because it was so good
Yeah.
to me. It was genuinely just perfect. So anyway.
Nice. What have you been listening to, sis?
Lots of Alkaline Trio, Crimson, the album Crimson,
Should I
and
turn off the dishwasher? Sorry, it's really loud suddenly.
oh,
Do you
I
think
don't
that's
know.
going to be bad?
It might be. I don't know.
Ton, are you
Should I go
good?
turn it off?
Up to you.
Okay,
Okay.
if it's gonna bother you, yes.
Yeah, I just worry that it's going to ruin our whole episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be all your fault.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we would never forgive you. But
Okay. Continue.
oh, okay, sorry. But yes, I've been listening to Alkaline Trio's album Crimson. I think it's a 2006 album. It's the one with like Time to Waste and Mercy Me and you know all
Nice.
of those the classic ones. And I've been listening to a lot of LA Not So Confidential, the Forensic Psychology podcast, Beach Too Sandy, Water Too Wet, and Passages with Amanda and Robbie.
Nice.
cool.
And I am drinking water because I already drank my coffee. I made one at home, and after this, I'm gonna go get another one.
Oh, you're
Nice.
saving it for later.
Yes, I
That's
am.
such a good idea. I almost did that, but then I was like, it's fun to like have one sitting there too.
Oh yeah, when we're recording.
Yeah, because I haven't done that yet. And when we started thinking of a podcast, I was like, oh, I can't wait to have like a little drink next
Little
to
treat.
me. Yeah, while I'm doing it. So
I think
Yeah.
that was our most chaotic intro.
it was
ever.
very chaotic.
I'm in
so
a
sorry.
weird headspace today.
Yeah,
So
I feel you.
yesterday I kind of felt like a weird day too. So I feel like I told Chris I need to reset, like go back to sleep and wake up again.
Yeah, try again.
That didn't help. So we're
I
still
know.
here.
I feel that. We've had a weird past couple weeks though, so
Yeah.
I think that well, and I think when we all get together, we get kind of just like, you know, whatever is on our minds we're going to talk about, and that's just how it goes.
Yeah.
My mind doesn't really think very, you know, well when we're all together.
Yeah.
We have that
See?
effect on each other.
Yeah. Brain does
mean-
not work.
Yeah, I hadn't started stuttering until this podcast apparently, so that I feel you there. Well, shall we get into our topics
Who's
today?
going first?
Cars, you want to go?
Sure.
Rock, paper, scissors?
Carson, I'm looking at you.
I can go first.
I don't even know anything about your topic
It's-
this week, huh?
I mean, it's not anything special. I
But
chose
is.
it yesterday.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just about, it's honestly just talking about fitness and
Ooh.
the gym and kind of how I was able to develop a good relationship with fitness and nutrition.
Nice.
And maybe give some advice to other people for it, but
Cool.
I mean it's pretty broad. Like
I'm listening.
Yeah.
Please,
Okay.
share.
Yeah. So
I need it.
I love this stuff.
I don't want to go too in detail. I've been on my fitness journey for many years now. I don't know exactly. I think I started around like 15, actually getting into working out. Sorry, I feel like my breath smells like strawberry banana right now, but
That is not a bad smell
don't
to
smell
have
any
coming
breath.
out of your
just
mouth.
want to let you know. But I started working out in my room, just doing push-ups and squats
Aw.
and stuff like that. Just wanted to get huge and look good. And I didn't have a car to go to the gym yet. Didn't have money for the gym yet.
Yeah.
So that's what I did my first year, just like working out too much. Like, and I think I don't know. I'd say I did that like every day, take some days off, whatever. Like, and I was also, I think that's when I started flipping too, doing my flips and stuff. So that definitely helped. But I was eating junk food too, like so much just crap. But that's okay. And then
You should explain your flipping though for people who
Oh.
don't know that.
yeah, I never know how, like
I
doing
wonder if other
backflips and
people
stuff.
had this part of their like.
Oh yeah,
Teenagerhood, too.
it's still like, just the other day I saw someone who is like probably like 15 doing flips and stuff
Really?
on the trampoline. Yeah,
Oh, that's
just like
cute, yeah.
cool.
extreme backyard trampolining. Like,
Yeah.
because
Parkour.
looking back at it, it's kind of crazy that our parents were like, "Yeah, go do that," because we were doing
It's
like,
very dangerous.
yeah, I mean,
Could've
one of my
snapped your
buddies
neck.
did break his neck.
Ah.
Who?
Oh, I remember hearing.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't want to
We'll
get
talk-
into
well,
it,
yeah.
but he,
Okay.
yeah, he's
Someone
very
from
public
a different
about it.
state, right?
Yeah, but he was very blessed to make a full recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
Holy
I know
cow.
people who were not so fortunate, but
Ugh,
it's dangerous.
so
but
scary.
I'm glad. Yeah, none of us had any serious incidents.
Oh my
other than
gosh,
that,
thank
but
goodness.
Yeah, I remember when I was doing push-ups one day and I started seeing like a shoulder vein, and I was like, I'm hooked,
Say
bro.
less.
Yeah. So anyway, I joined the gym with my buddy Nico. We started doing CrossFit and just knew absolutely nothing about working out, but we loved it, and we'd go every day after school. And yeah, we did that for a while, and then I started working at another gym, did like bodybuilding, like more lifting stuff, and then yeah, I mean, went and did some army fitness, and that was not fun or good. But now, ever since I've been doing like I don't know, now I don't really know what I do. Like, I guess more, it's just lifting weights, like, but a lot smarter, and also doing running and stuff like that. So anyway, I feel like I've done a lot of different styles of it, but this has been easily the most like consistent I've been with it, and the most like not really carefree, but like not having to think about it, you know, like
Yeah.
almost mindless. And it's
Yeah.
been so nice because like I feel like when people start working out, they jump into it and they feel like they have to do everything and they have to work out until they're like destroyed, you know. But I think it's really good to just pull information from all different places, all different people, and yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know exactly where to go from here, but do you guys have any input so far?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I guess I'm trying to think. Like you covered a lot of different topics that, you know, just are kind of like how a lot of influencers talk about working out. Like you go super hard at first, you start not really knowing anything, and then once you kind of go through the trial and error, then you find what works for you, and it's kind of different for everybody.
Yeah, I would say so. yeah, I think, yeah, I love how popular the gym has become. Like, so many people, like a lot of younger people are getting into it, and I think that's really good. And
Yeah.
I think no matter what you're doing in the gym, it's going to be so much better than not doing anything at
Yeah.
all. But yeah, I mean, it's great mentally and physically, but
Yeah, and it's cool to think that you and Nico have been going for so long. I remember when you guys started going, and it was kind of just like, oh, I wonder what they're, doing at the gym. But now it's like all these years later, you guys were like building your knowledge base of what you do daily now, which is cool.
Well, I was just gonna say that was part of my question is how, as someone who does not go to the gym, how would you say, or what would you say is the best way to build the knowledge of, learning how to properly use the equipment, what order to use the equipment? Because for me, if I were to go into a gym, I think I get overwhelmed with not knowing and not understanding. Like when I've gone with mom in the summer and I'm like, I don't know, I'm just going to sit here and like do some sit-ups.
And people don't understand that you don't know what to do in the gym. I remember telling someone like, oh, I don't go to the gym because I wouldn't know what to do. And they were like, what?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. I don't know how many machines I have to use or what I have to do on them. I don't know.
yeah. So that could take, I could spend a whole day just talking about it. And I'm definitely not the biggest guy or the strongest guy, but I think I've just hit that level to where
You're also not trying to be, right?
I'm not trying to be either.
So that's part of the
right now,
goal.
My goal, like, I think for now and forever is just going to be to look good, feel good, and be able to like go for a long run and not be destroyed afterwards, and be overall healthy, be able to go do CrossFit if I wanted to, which I still do sometimes just at home, and I love it. So just be overall well-rounded, because I don't necessarily think there's a bad goal in fitness. But I did want to get into it, breaking it down a little bit. I think it's really good to just develop a schedule, like easy schedule, because it doesn't need to be complicated. You could literally go 3 days a week and see insane results. If you go, I'm just going to talk about like a standard gym. Most of them are going to have like machines and dumbbells and squat racks and some cardio equipment. And it's all dependent on your goals. But I would say if you're going for lifting weights or something, which is going to be just as good as cardio for like losing weight and burning calories. Cardio, though, it is going to have more heart benefits, I guess. Like, obviously, that's your cardiovascular system. But I would say, let's say you're going 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Monday you hit like chest and back for lifting, and then Wednesday you do shoulders and arms, and then legs you do on Friday. For the sets and reps, I've been doing like 4 sets of each muscle group.
Wait, like 4 different machines for each one, or 4?
No.
Four repetitions?
No. So today I went to the gym. I did chest and triceps, and I did incline machine for my chest, and I did 2 sets of that. And then I went to a seated press, and I did 2 sets of that. I did like 7 reps for each. I think I did 7 reps for my first 2 and 5 for my second 2.
Oh, okay.
So it was heavier.
Yeah.
But, and then that's chest, and then I went to triceps. I did.
Nice. Okay.
I like doing 2 and 2. Hitting 2 sets on each machine, kind of, and
Yeah.
you just do 2 different machines, and you're good. Like if you gotta make sure you're resting the adequate amount. Yeah. I don't know how in depth to
No,
go, but
that's good, because the way that you like explain, like I think of like sets as different things, I think, than you do, because
Okay.
like when you say that you do 2 or like 4 sets, 2 and 2, I think of like, you know, like 4 sets of reps. Does that make sense? Instead of like 2 machines. Or like 2
Okay.
different kinds of workouts. I don't know how to explain it.
you think of each set as being a different machine or a different exercise?
Yeah, different exercise.
Okay.
No, I don't think of that, but it seems like that's how you're
No.
explaining it. Oh, okay.
I'm just saying I did 4 sets.
Oh.
I did 2 on this machine and 2 on that machine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Because
4 sets
okay.
total.
4 sets total.
Split into
2 on
Okay.
each.
Okay.
Yes.
I can do math.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that makes
Yeah.
sense, because I've been thinking about that when I go into the gym, and I'm like, Carson says I only have to do 2 sets, but I didn't know if you meant like, you know, I didn't know what you meant. So that
Yeah.
now I get it, and I have been doing it right, so
And
that's good.
Yeah, and everything I say shouldn't be like, okay, I have to do it exactly this way.
No, it's just good insight, because if you're looking for more insight and then someone like gives you that like, oh, well,
Yeah.
you don't have to do it as hard as you have. I'm like,
Yeah.
great.
And so
Say less.
when you're doing that, like lower volume, like I'm still like super sore a couple days later. Well,
Yeah.
sometimes it depends, but like I'm still like, I only was able to get 7 reps. Like that last rep,
Yeah.
I was barely able to get it.
Yeah.
So I'm still
cool.
going just as hard, but
Yeah.
my workouts are like 45 minutes now, and I
So
love
nice,
it.
yeah.
And I think that's the other thing is like I said, you don't have to kill yourself at the gym
Yeah.
every day.
Yeah.
Like it's not about that.
Is that once you hit maintenance, or is that like
No.
even if you're trying to grow?
Yeah. Even if
Okay.
you're trying to grow. So this is interesting. Your muscles are constantly either in a stage of growing or, okay, this is not the right word, but they're either growing or shrinking constantly. And so
Yeah.
you have to find, there's the stimulating reps model is a new theory about how many sets you have to do per week to grow your muscles without doing too much and without losing muscle.
Okay.
It's very complicated, and some of this is taken from that, but I'll link it in the description for sure. But
Cool.
so this is just what I do. I do it. I try to hit each muscle group twice per week, so I'm hitting like 8 sets per week. If that makes sense. And then
Yeah. I get it now.
but yeah, and then I've been running 5 days a week.
Wow. Oh, see, that's what I want to get back
just-
into too.
Yeah. It's just super easy. Just
Yeah.
wake up 2 miles and then
Yeah.
you're good.
I feel like the odd man out. I'm like, that sounds horrible.
And I don't go super fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just it's
I
just
haven't
good.
run in so long. That would be hard for me. But I used to run all the time.
Yeah. Running it's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to fall in love with it. Like with anything, you just got to fall in love with it. And
Well, it's like I was telling you, the reason I want to get into running is one, my blood pressure's not great. I'm keeping track to talk to my doctor about it.
Yeah. Which is a
yeah.
very common. That's so
mine
common.
isn't good either.
Oh yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
I think it's also a genetic thing because
I just
on
haven't
both
had mine
sides of our
checked. I don't
family, like we have high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that's
Which is
great.
not good. Yeah.
Yeah, great, really good. But it didn't start until I was an adult. But so that's my main reason. But also, I would like to get into running because what if a kidnapper is trying to kidnap me and I need to run away?
Why did I know that's,
That's
where
my
you were
main-
going?
This is very logical.
That's my
thinking.
main reason.
Yeah.
Is what if
It's
someone is
important.
trying to get me? Because of course I'm not special. Everyone is wanting to kidnap me.
Yeah.
I think I'd drive people crazy if they kidnapped me.
Yeah.
But that's I'd start barking and running, and
Yeah. You would get away.
that would deter. That would be a great topic: is how we would get away from a kidnapper and what we would do.
Yeah, that's our next group topic.
But that's okay. But But seriously though, like I would like to be able to,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
to be a little bit healthier and maybe help my heart and, you know,
Yeah.
do that. So that'd be my reason for
and-
running.
Yeah, and it's just like once you start finding a workout that you love, like it's gonna just amplify so much in your life too. Like I just feel like for mental health reasons,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, that's the only reason I feel like I go to the gym every day, because I wake up and I'm like, I get to go to the gym.
Yeah.
It's like so fun.
Yeah. And
I
you,
could always use better mental health. So, you know.
you also don't need to go to the gym to see results either. Like you can definitely get it done at home. And
Yeah.
Well, now that
That's
it's
true,
not
that's a good point.
icy, we live like next to a good running trail. Like, we
Yeah,
could-
yeah.
I'll go running. We should start going running. That'd be fun.
Okay, but we gotta like walk jog first.
Yeah.
Because
and
your
also
girl
decide that
can't
we're
do
not talking, because I cannot do both.
That is fair.
no. That's good though, because when you're building your endurance, you want to do it at a talking pace, conversation pace.
Oh,
and
that's
it's gonna
right,
feel
because-
so slow.
If you if you can talk and run, you're doing it right, right? Okay,
Oh.
I heard that. Okay.
Because you don't want to be like out of breath by the time you're done with your run, which is so hard because I like to go fast. But
I like
And I've never
Especially-
gone on a run outside, I don't think, or haven't like as an adult. So I
oh,
always
it's so
run
much
on
more
a treadmill.
fun. If you,
I
and
don't
like,
think I've ever gone for a run for fun.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, that's
in
fair.
my life.
Yeah.
yeah, I went the other day, and anytime you see someone that you're about to pass, like it is impossible to slow down, because I don't know, like once you pass them, you can't let them see that you're gonna slow down.
Because
that
it's
makes sense.
embarrassing.
It's
Yeah.
I don't
like
know.
traffic. Like when
Yeah,
you
yeah,
pass
yeah, yeah.
someone, you don't want to cut in front of them and then slow down.
You have to like pretend that you've been going that speed the
Yeah.
whole time.
And so I'm
And
like,
you're not just doing it to pass
I'm like
them.
straight faced when I'm passing them, and then I'm like dead afterwards.
You're like,
yeah. But
It's just so funny.
yeah, but yeah. So find what you love.
love what
Love
you
that.
do.
Love what you
Never
do.
work a day in your life.
Nutrition is also very important.
Yeah,
I've been eating.
help.
I've been eating no bread, like the most boring diet ever. Just rice and ground chicken, and I love it.
I'm starting to. I literally bought chicken today, so I can start making like rice and stir fry with chicken, and have that be the staple for
Yeah.
most meals.
I'll tell you what, it's impossible to gain weight. I've been trying, but I'm like, I'm not gonna eat bread or even dairy. I've been trying not to eat a lot of dairy, but it's literally just been rice and ground chicken or ground turkey, whatever's cheaper.
What do you have for breakfast?
I have rice cakes with peanut butter
Oh, yum.
and some Greek yogurt
That sounds so good.
with some
Wait.
granola in it.
Ick.
Oh my gosh. Wait, do you put the Greek yogurt on top?
No.
Or like separate in a bowl?
Yeah, just a little separate.
So if I
need
have Oikos
Yeah, that's what I have.
and that's what you have in that,
And some granola.
and some granola, like, and I have the like Kirkland probiotic kind of granola, like,
That's good.
I don't know,
Yum.
it's supposed to be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay, good.
really
Good for me. I
Rice
do
cakes
like that.
and peanut butter. It's like a little treat.
Sounds so good.
It's really good.
I
It's
feel
really
like
good.
I saw this girl make Oiko's like vanilla yogurt with some peanut butter in it, and then she put some chocolate drizzle over the top and put it in the freezer, and then she cracked onto it like a little frozen treat, and it like cracked
Oh, like the Ben and
chocolate.
Jerry's chocolate
nice,
top. Yeah.
So good. Love it.
That sounds really good, yeah. But
Yeah.
you gotta find like the easiest thing that you can eat like every day. That's
Yeah.
that's like the easiest way to do it. It's just like something that you like a little bit that you can eat every day, and
My go-to is a
Yeah.
salad. Like if you if you learn what kind of salads you like and what kind of like dressings and things to put on there, and of course like proteins and stuff, then you can mix it up and make so many different
Yeah.
kinds. Like once you find that base, you can like a healthy base. You can just change it up and make it varied all the time.
yeah. Okay, a couple more things I'm gonna make quick. Sleep, super important. I was just talking about it yesterday that like I love sleeping now. I used to not, because I felt like I wanted to keep doing stuff
you have
and
no
like
time.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I love sleeping now and I sleep really good, so
Love that.
that's gonna be the best thing for recovery. And drinking lots of water too. I drink lots of water, so
That's the one good
Yeah.
thing that I do is
That's
I
really
drink
good.
lots of water.
Oh yeah.
and then yeah, just being positive and patient and not comparing yourself to other people. And then also working on stretching in your mobility and just adding in little stuff little by little instead of doing it all at once, and like you're gonna get burnt out if you do that and if you go all in. So just add little stuff and take it slow and just fall in love with the process, and
Love that.
it'll be good.
One of the best pieces of advice that I heard from, like, maybe it was from Pinterest or some kind of TikToker years and years ago, is to add before you start taking away if you're trying to, like, change your lifestyle. Which, if you think about it, if you're, like, trying to go on a diet, add the good things before you take out what you like, you know? Find something to replace before you take things out. I think that's so helpful.
Fruit is like candy.
it's
It's so good.
I just got some pears at the store this morning. I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot how good pears are. I'm going to drizzle some peanut butter over it.
Oh
my gosh.
Peanut butter pear.
Yeah. It's like an apple with peanut butter.
Interesting. The texture's different though.
Yeah, I like it.
It's like
Interesting.
of a pear.
Yeah.
Oh, soggy
Not
pear.
soggy. I don't know how to explain
Well, it's
it.
like grainy. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's
squishy.
soggier
I really
than an
like
apple.
pears.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to think of how to explain it because it's hard.
I'm thinking about just the flavor of pear and peanut butter. I'm
Yeah.
not sure I would like that. It sounds like baby food to me, but
Really?
you know,
Sounds yummy.
A banana with peanut butter.
So good.
I don't like
So
bananas.
good. Oh, they're amazing.
They're
I
like
know.
one of my staples.
Yeah.
My oatmeal.
I really
Oh,
wish I
so
did
good.
because
Should put some peanut butter on there. We'll probably
it's
like
more
it.
of a texture thing and the flavor. So
Actually, all
so
of it.
I think actually all of it. Yeah.
I think you just don't like bananas, and
But
that's
I like
okay.
the banana candy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
and I was-
banana flavoring.
I think I've told you guys that
Yeah.
the flavor of the banana candy is from a species of banana that went extinct. So
What?
imagine biting into a banana that tasted like a Laffy Taffy.
I would eat bananas every day.
Yeah,
It went
yeah.
extinct. Why can't they bring it back? They
I
have
don't
so
know.
many labs
That's what I've
that
heard, at least. I don't
do
know.
like fruit stuff.
Yeah.
Weird.
They're working on the
Give us your
mammoth right
resource.
now.
Yeah, I'm
They're
gonna
working on
work
bringing
on
the mammoth back, I think.
What?
That's what I've heard.
That's
yeah, Jurassic Park.
Terrifying.
See, now here's the thing.
Ethically,
Listen,
not right.
I'm not.
I'm sure the mammoths want to come back. You know?
Did someone ask their
Please.
permission?
Well, so yeah, I think of Jurassic Park, and that just doesn't sound like a
Scary
good
road
idea.
we're going down.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe as long as someone else is in charge and like maybe has better cages and
Yeah.
fencing, maybe we'll be all right. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully someone won't let that
We'll see.
happen. We'll see. Yikes.
Fun.
Yeah. But that's all I got for mine.
That was a good topic. That made me
Thanks.
excited about going to the gym tomorrow.
Yeah, I should have. I literally had like 3 bullet points.
You did great.
Yeah,
Oh,
you did a
thanks.
great job.
Thanks.
You
Filled in
talked
your
about it
time
very
great.
thoroughly.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Well, my topic is all about, I don't know how long it's going to take me to talk about this, but I just wanted to introduce you guys to the concept of ACOTAR, the best book series that I've ever read. And as I was like writing down all these plot points and I just looked on ChatGPT to remind me of all the like summary plot points because like there's 5 books. I forget all the like sequential things that happened and what happened in each book, but just it is so good, but it is so bizarre when you hear the concept. And I'm
Okay.
excited to see what you guys think once I tell you about it. Because everyone thinks of ACOTAR as like, the fairies are getting
Spicy.
it on. Which they are, but that doesn't even happen until like, that's not the main focus of any of these books. And it doesn't even happen in the first book, maybe at all. Or until the very, very end. I can't even remember. But oh my gosh, it's just so good. And people just like don't understand that it's so much deeper than just like,
I have
fairy
no idea
sex.
what it's about.
Good.
Yeah, neither do I.
Okay, perfect. Okay, well, listen up because we're going to go over book 1. And then if we have time, it depends on how long I like take to talk about these because I would like to tell you guys about all of them.
Be a
'cause
series.
it could. It just wraps up so good. So yeah, I could make this into like a 5-part series that I like talk about. But okay, so book 1 is just called A Court of Thorns and Roses. I did not realize that it was ACOTAR for a long time because, like, people call it ACOTAR because it's like, you know.
It's the acronym.
Yeah, it's the acronym. That's the word. I didn't put that together. I thought I was reading a different fantasy book, and then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm reading ACOTAR.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
I just unlocked it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm reading the book that everyone talks about. Like, why is no one talking about A Court of Thorn and Roses? But they
Everyone's
were.
talking about ACOTAR. I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Okay, so it's about this girl named Farah. And Farah's 19 and she's a huntress. She hunts for her family because they're like in extreme poverty and it's her dad.
Hunger Games.
Yeah, it literally starts out like that. Like she hunts with a bow and arrow. So at first I was like,
So it's Katniss.
yeah, I was like, okay, I'm not buying it. It really
Which came
took me a little
first?
bit. I'm pretty sure Katniss did.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I honestly don't know. So yeah, they live in like a village that's very poor. It's gone through like war and everything's kind of in shambles. Her dad is injured. He like can't provide for the family because he had this really good business, but then he he got injured because he was like, I don't know. Something happened with his business. I can't remember, but he's injured. He can't provide for the family, so it's up to Farah, and she's like the middle child, and her sisters are just kind of like bums. Like they are not going to help. They kind of just like live at home and expect her to take care of them.
What?
So she does.
How old are they?
Like 20 and 16 probably. Like they just don't really help at all because they're like,
Why?
I don't know. That's something that comes up later. It's kind of like, you know, they're all. She does it because she has to, but it's not because she, like, you know, wants to. She just has to. She's the only one who can hunt. So she's hunting in the woods, and she goes out and she kills a wolf.
No.
She kills the wolf because she, like, needs to sell the pelt, and also, like, they need meat. So it actually turns out that this wolf is a fairy in disguise because fairies can take forms of other animals. There's a lot of different kinds of fairies. Yeah. So then after she kills this wolf and realizes it's a fairy, which is like a big no-no, like people know you can't kill wolves because they could be fairies, but she kills it. And so then this fairy named Tamlin comes to her house and demands that, Farah comes with him to the fairy realm as punishment for her, like, you know, doing that. And she thinks she's going to go and get tortured and killed, like, because she committed a crime. And the fairies caught her. So she's taken to the spring court, which is where Tamlin lives, and he's like, okay, you're my prisoner, you're being held hostage.
What?
Yeah, that's exactly it, because she needs to, like, you know,
my prisoner.
serve as, that's her punishment for killing the wolf. I know, it sounds crazy.
Fair. I would also punish someone for killing a wolf. But it also
is bizarre. So. It's like, okay, so I have to go live with you as punishment?
That's odd.
Are the fairies tall, or is it like Tinkerbell comes to my door?
It's really, it's kind of hard to summarize because there's lots of different kinds of fairies, but the fairies that she's talking about, oh, I just forgot. These fairies wear masks too because of a curse.
What?
So they're beautiful. They're very beautiful. They're very tall. They're very like sculpted, and they seem to live in like the Gilded Ages. Like everything's beautiful and perfect in their world, and they live very highly. They have servants.
Are we sure she wasn't just injured in the forest and this is all a dream?
It sounds like
Hit
it.
her head.
Yeah, for real.
Okay,
So,
I'm with it.
Sorry, I'm listening.
Yeah, she's taken to the spring court. Tamlin is a powerful fairy lord there, and so he's like in charge. But he and what's his guy called? He has a friend there who works for him. I can't remember what he's called, what his title is. But this guy named Lucian is like, he lives with him too, and he's like name. His like
Lucian.
Assistant kind of. Lucian, yeah. And so, but they're cursed and they have to wear masks because of some kind of curse. I can't remember.
No, you have to tell us the curse.
What does the mask do?
It just hides his face.
Okay.
It's like
But I
stuck
thought they
to
were
his
beautiful.
face though. They were, and you can tell
Oh.
because half of their face is like, you know.
Oh, so it's Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow,
they're
this is
like
mixing a lot
chiseled,
of-
beautiful fairy men, and she's like, dang, they're so good looking. Hi, do you hear that I'm talking about my book? No. Oh, I'm telling
That's
them
why.
all about ACOTAR. You should probably take a seat and listen to this. Why I'm so obsessed with it.
Okay.
But are you going somewhere?
Yeah.
Nice. Where are you going?
I'm just gonna go on a drive.
Oh, okay, nice.
Like how when Dawn's just chilling.
Oh yeah.
She's also on the podcast.
She
Yeah.
is. She's snorting along. Okay, so she's in the spring court. She's introduced to like their lives and pretty much just has to live there and like, you know, she kind of like gets treated like royalty. Like she gets whatever she wants. No one's
Sounds like a great punishment.
particularly nice to her, but she's just like stuck there. Lucian's kind of nice to her. Like they become friends, but Tamlin's like in charge and he's always stressed out and has like fairy business to attend to. So she's kind of just like by herself.
Very
But
important
then
fairy business.
don't worry. Tamlin and Farrah start to fall in love. They
Oh, it's an
develop a
enemies to
romantic
lovers.
Yeah, I knew it.
connection. Yeah.
Wait, no, what is that? Stockholm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for real.
So yeah.
Yeah, so she's
Stockholm
stuck there
syndrome.
and they kind of fall in love and stuff. And let's
Is that his
see.
car or a helicopter?
That's his car.
That's his car.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that it's running again. That's exciting.
Yeah, we just got it back on Wednesday.
Is
I
he
think-
loving it?
Yeah, he's very
Good.
excited. He's been out there like on the ground working on stuff under the car,
Aw, I'm happy
getting
for
parts
him.
again. So he's excited.
Good.
So let's see. Okay, so while they're falling in love, it turns out that you know, she discovers that there's like this big queen named Amarantha or Amarantha. I don't know how to say her name. It's hard when you read these books and they have really profound names.
Amaranta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always said it in my head as
Amarantha?
Amarantha. I don't know if that's
What?
wrong.
Amarantha? Like America?
Amarantha?
Amarantha.
Oh my gosh, could be. So she's like in charge of, you know, everything. She's like this vicious ruler and she like kills people viciously and she's ruling all of their lives and she's the reason that they have to wear those masks. Like she's just the
She's
big
the
bad
Queen of Hearts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So how does this, I can't remember how, but she gets like, okay, so they get taken from their like palace that they live in and they're forced to like be under Amarantha's like reign kind of, and she traps them and discovers that like Farrah's a human, and Farrah for some reason is the only one who can break this curse of, you know, that's all over the lands that is causing them to wear masks and, you know, has people living in constant fear of Amarantha. Like she's in charge and this curse could set everybody free. I think it's because she takes Tamlin. She like, Amarantha takes Tamlin and then they both have to go to this place called Under the Mountain, which is where she lives. And Farrah has to go through these deadly trials to like break them free from this curse and release Tamlin. And Tamlin's under a spell. I forgot about that. So he's under a spell, so he can't help her. She has to like save him by going through these trials. One of the trials is where she has to fight this giant like sandworm like in
Ew.
Dune.
Whoa.
Yeah, but she has to fight it with no weapons. And so she's like and she of course like
She punch it?
no, she finds, I think there's bones in its house from other, like, people that it's eaten or animals. And so she uses the bones to, like, kill it and get out. So she survives that trial. And then there's two other trials that are, like, horribly, like, you know, dangerous and challenging. And then, let's see. This is actually not a very good summary now that I'm reading it because I remember it so differently. While she's down there for like months facing these trials. Like there's one every
What?
month. Like, yeah, she's stuck in this prison while they're waiting for her to like get the next trial. And so she's like starving. She's like living in this like dungeon and no one is helping her except for this other lord of one of the other courts named Resend. And he goes down and like gives her like food and water, and he has his servants kind of take care of her like sneaky. So Resend is Amarantha's like play toy kind of. Like he is like you know, manipulated by her, and he's kind of like her boyfriend, but it's actually not by choice. Like, he's like trapped down there for 50 years and has to like serve as her like boyfriend.
So
but
is he like translucent white because he's never seen the sun in 50 years or something? Or
I'm sure he is. I don't know. Yeah, that's
I just picture
yeah.
this like
Well, he's like this very like cool, smooth,
Oh.
like cool guy, but yeah, he's kind of like helping Farah, but almost like you're like, why is he helping her? And so eventually he starts like kind of bringing her like to light. They have like these crazy parties while she's under the mountain and she's trapped, and since he's like part of royalty because he's like her boyfriend, he like kind of, you know, brings Farah to these parties with him and shows everybody that she's actually like, you know, a normal person, and kind of shows her off as like his like, you know,
this is my
trophy,
human.
kind of. Yeah, it's weird. But then so she goes through these trials, and she ultimately like survives the trials, but at the very end Amarantha like tricks her and says like, if you can give me this one word to solve this riddle, then you'll have Tamlin, you'll be free, you'll break the curse. And she tricks her, of course, and she figures out the riddle, but Amarantha kills her. But then
I'm sorry.
yeah. Okay, but she figures it out. And it's crazy because I'm sorry, I'm doing a really bad job explaining this.
Like, I need to read this
Yeah.
book.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy.
What is happening?
But before Amarantha kills Farah actually kills Tamlin, the guy that she's doing this all for.
Wait, why?
Because she realizes that the answer to his riddle is that, or the last trial, is that she either has to kill Tamlin or solve this riddle. And the riddle is impossible. But she realizes that Tamlin has a heart of like, his heart isn't like a real heart. It's like made of stone or something. So if she kills him, it's not going to kill him. So she stabs him, and that's like, you know, she killed him. So that was one of the options to break the curse. But then Amarantha doesn't like that. She figures it out, and she kills Farah. And then
So homegirl dies.
she dies, but she comes back to life because all the other court leaders give her a little bit of their powers. There's like so many different courts. I think there's 8, and everybody decides like, you know, she's trying to save all of us. Let's, you know, combine our power and try to save her. And they do. But in that process, she's changed into a fairy because she has all of these like little powers from everybody, and they all give her some kind of gift. Like, they all have a power of some kind.
So now she's this mega
So now
fairy.
she's reborn as the most powerful fairy, like, you know. Well, to some extent. She's not the most powerful one, but she'll discover later that she is really powerful. And so she and Tamlin are like, you know, free and in love, and they go back to their spring court, and she's a fairy, and she's going to live forever now. And that's how the first
Wait, do
book
fairies
ends.
live forever?
They're immortal.
They're immortal unless they're killed when they're a wolf.
No, they can die, but they're immortal unless someone kills them,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the
So-
definition of immortal.
No, I would say you don't die naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They don't age, but they can be killed.
Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the first
Wow.
book. And that's not even the best one. Like, it's crazy. I'm going to have to go into the second one for you. Might I just add, ChatGPT did a terrible job of summarizing it, and I should have made my own summary because it did not include the most important parts, and I'm leaving a lot out.
Yes, because I'm very confused.
Should I summarize the whole book in
No.
like a couple lines? No.
No, I mean, I think I get it.
Okay.
I think, like, I get it. But, I mean, it's just very interesting.
I know. Isn't it crazy that there's more to the whole plot? Like, you wouldn't
Yeah.
even know that this is part of it. Like, pretty much the most important part of the book is that she has to, like, die for Tamlin. And instead of dying for him, she gets killed and then comes back to life.
Yeah, and she kills
Because
him.
she loves him. Yeah, but they both are alive by
But
the
Daddy,
end.
I love him.
I know, exactly. Like, she's fighting for her love. But Amarantha throws a fit. She doesn't like it.
Amarantha's cutting heads off.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah, there were
It's
so many different
crazy.
like books and stuff that.
References.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. Like, Hunger Games at the beginning, and then it turns
Mm-hmm.
into, like, I don't even know. Crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so good. I'm gonna have to go over the next books in a different one because number 3 is the best one, and like number 2 is where everything changes, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's crazy. Like by the end, it's so good. So
I
good.
remember. I think I told you that my buddy's wife was reading that, and I was like, "Oh, my sister reads that book," and I had no idea what this book
Yeah,
was about.
yeah.
Like, it's just funny to think about it.
Are we-
Sorry for that intermission.
Sorry for that brief interruption. Technology hates us.
Yeah, but now.
Good thing
we're
you
chilling.
noticed before it
Oh my
was
God.
too late.
It turned blue, and that's not good. That means
Not
it's
good.
over.
If you are a person or a computer, apparently.
Turning blue is just not ideal.
I want to put the entire break on like a blooper reel.
Yeah.
Pumpernickel bread. I was dying.
You're like perfect.
Yeah.
You're just staying in the bathroom, so Evan and I keep being weird.
Oh my god, yeah. Yeah. We'll move on to my topic now.
Yeah.
So, okay. This week I'm bringing you some heavy psych content, some
Nice.
psychology content. As I've mentioned before, I really enjoy forensic psychology, understanding the pathology of people, and learning the why behind the good and bad things we do as humans. So I'm switching gears real hard from fitness and fairies to psychology. So,
Fitness, fairies, and freaks.
Oh,
Nice.
That's the topic name.
There we go.
Except
Okay,
we
well,
probably
that's
shouldn't
pretty
label people
awful.
as
Freaks.
freaks.
That's also
Friends.
awful.
Yeah.
Friends.
Friends.
The
Yeah.
friends that live in my head. No, I'm kidding. That's not.
I don't
that's
even
not-
know what part of psychology we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get into it. So something that has always fascinated me is the topic of personality disorders.
Ooh.
Oftentimes in the true crime world, we hear the words psychopath and sociopath, or the lack of remorse someone feels when committing heinous crimes. So before I get into too much of my topic, I have a question for you guys. Could you define an antisocial personality disorder, and could you tell me the defining traits of a narcissist? Because I'd like to hear what you know before we get into it, or what you know culturally before we get into it.
Okay.
No.
I remember hearing
Of course.
I'm like, I'm ready. I remember hearing that antisocial, people think antisocial means you just don't like to hang out with people, or like you're an introvert, but it actually means that you are like so far removed from like social norms, right? Or like,
Yeah,
okay,
that's great.
Yeah, or
It's a
you're
very
just,
good way of summarizing
okay, good.
the cultural
And then I feel like
belief.
I hear about narcissists all the time on like reality shows and
Oh my
stuff, so
gosh,
it's hard to really
constantly.
define. But I've also looked it up because I had a particular ex who I definitely think was a narcissist, and we're not naming names here, but
But you know who you are.
yeah. So, but I know narcissists generally think that they are at least. This is probably a cultural
And
opinion.
if you're wrong, it's okay. Like,
Yeah.
we'll talk about it. I'm
Yeah.
just curious what your perception is, or what the cultural
Yeah.
belief or universal belief is, even if it's not true.
Yeah. So what comes to mind is just somebody who thinks the world revolves around them, thinks they're not wrong about things, tries to fault others for normal human characteristics that, you know, they just lack having.
Yeah.
Those are pretty much the main things.
Okay. Well, you kind of hit the nail on the head. So
Really?
Good job.
Oh
Yeah.
my
I'm
gosh,
actually
okay.
very impressed.
Thank you.
Yeah, you took mine.
Oh,
That's what I was gonna say.
That's
that's
what
like you
I was-
have personal
I was
experience.
gonna say
with
it's
something
like
that.
narcissist is kind of like a self-serving bias almost, but
Yeah. Yeah, that's another good definition.
thank you.
Yeah, so specifically, I want to talk about cluster B personality disorders today to discuss the misrepresentation and misunderstanding of what it means to be antisocial and what makes someone a true narcissist.
Sorry, she like went up to
Snorted
Carson and snorted right at him.
Sorry, everyone, our podcast dog made her appearance.
Little attitude.
Yeah.
Jeez.
She really wants you to play.
Want me to pay you?
Oh. Okay, well, I'm going to read that again because I was
Yeah.
really interrupted. I want to talk about cluster B personality disorders today to discuss the misrepresentation and misunderstanding of what it means to be antisocial and what makes someone a true narcissist. And we kind of touched on this already, but I feel like too often we throw out these words in common conversation without truly knowing the definition.
Something's wrong with him.
What happened?
The whole couch started shaking and I realized he was laughing.
I'm sorry. She's snorting in like rhythm or something. I'm so sorry. Okay.
I have really good things to talk about.
I know you do.
I
I don't
missed
know what's
it.
wrong
I'm
with
so
me
sorry.
today. Okay, go ahead.
I think we're all just in a weird
weird day.
headspace,
Yeah.
so everyone just be nice to us, okay? Okay, too often we throw these words around in common conversations without truly knowing the definition and therefore misrepresenting
Yeah.
what these
I'm with
disorders
you.
are. There are 3 different clusters of personality disorders. There's A, B, and C. And today,
You were waiting for him.
I was pausing for you to laugh.
Yeah. 'Cause it's so
I was
funny.
following along.
Clearly, the clusters are so hilarious. So today we're going to be focusing on cluster B personality disorders because of the stigma and misunderstanding of the disorders. Now, this is just my caveat here. Keep in mind, I am not qualified to diagnose or treat in a clinical setting. The purpose of this conversation is to inform and discuss a topic that is interesting to me. So please seek credentialed professionals for diagnoses and treatment. Okay.
Nice.
Moving on. In the cluster B personality disorders, there are 4 different types. There's antisocial, borderline, histrionic, and narcissistic.
Wow.
I'm going to do a brief overview of these, but if there's any interest, I could definitely do a deep dive. I literally have the DSM-5 pulled up right now it's the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, and it has all of the...
Oh, wow.
it's
Like symptoms?
it's for diagnosing and treating in a clinical setting.
How do you even do that? Is it like a questionnaire kind of thing? Like that they go through?
So you have to meet a certain criteria of the listed symptoms and experiences, and for personality disorder specifically, this has to be a long-standing pattern in adulthood.
Oh, okay.
But we'll kind of get into that more. So starting with defining personality, I feel like we all know what a personality is, but defining it, I thought was kind of
That's
difficult.
true,
So,
yeah.
But a personality, according to psychiatry.org, is the way of thinking, feeling, and behaving that makes a person different from other people.
Oh.
Personality refers to an individual's pattern of behavior and traits that are long-standing. And they go on to note that aspects of personality include the way people tend to think of themselves, how they relate to other people, how they interpret and deal with events in the environment, and how they react emotionally to all of this. So that's a lot of information right there. But so knowing this, we can go on to what classifies a personality disorder. And someone with a personality disorder could have thoughts, feelings, and behaviors that deviate from the social norm or culture, but they also have to cause distress or affect daily functioning as well, which is, another common criteria for diagnoses is that it is causing some sort of problem in your life.
So someone could just be have a personality disorder, but as long as it's not disturbing them in their life, then they don't need to be diagnosed.
Well, because why would they seek treatment
I mean,
if it's
that's
not
true.
bothering them?
That's true, yeah. It's
And
just a weird kind
how
of
would
like,
they know?
yeah,
You know?
that's true. It's kind of an interesting like thing to throw in there, but yeah, I mean, I guess obviously, yeah. Weird.
It was very interesting. I
You did a lot of
really
research.
liked, well, yes and no. I will give Carson the list of references that I used so people can look themselves, but I literally found a PDF of the DSM-5.
Wow.
And I was so excited because I was like, I don't have to buy it because you have to buy it.
yeah.
And so it's on archive.org, usarchive.org. And
Wow.
yeah, I was so excited. I mean, it is hundreds and hundreds of pages. And so I was like
my
scrolling
gosh.
through and it was slowly loading as it was
Oh
pulling
my
up. And I was like,
gosh.
oh boy. So,
Wow.
but I was a little, I was kind of nerding out last night. So it was very fun.
Yeah, I
I had a
love
great
that.
time. But so we'll start with antisocial personality disorder. And you kind of alluded to it, sis, with when you think of someone being antisocial, the first thing that comes to mind in pop culture is an introvert.
Yeah.
You know, someone who enjoys alone time and doesn't want to socialize with
Yeah.
others. But this is, in fact, incorrect. According to the DSM-5, the essential feature of antisocial personality disorder is a pervasive pattern of Okay, hold on. I think I mistyped. Okay.
That's okay.
The essential feature of antisocial personality disorder is a pervasive pattern, disregard for, and violation of the rights of others that begins in early childhood and continues into adulthood.
Wow.
So this is where we find our psychopaths and
Yeah.
sociopaths.
Oh my gosh.
Someone who has APD could be frequently deceitful, manipulate others for their own gain, break laws, disregard societal or cultural norms, and lack remorse. They could also be irritable and aggressive, be reckless with their own safety and the safety of others, and be irresponsible to the point where they can't keep a job or relationship. And that's where we see where people start coming in to seek treatment.
Yeah.
Is, you know, why can I not keep a job? Why
Yeah.
am I not keeping these relationships?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Because that's where the problem, you know, that we were talking about earlier starts to come into play. Like, it's affecting their
Exactly.
life.
Yep.
Interesting.
It is so fascinating. So that's antisocial. And again, this is just very generic, like I said, I found the DSM-5. I could literally write
Yeah.
like a thesis paper on this,
Yeah.
like a whole dissertation, but this is just very generic. So we'll move on to borderline personality disorder. And people with BPD have an extreme fear of abandonment, and they will go to great lengths to avoid abandonment, whether it is real or not.
Wow. That is different than I would assume it would be. Huh.
They feel chronic emptiness, shame, hypersensitivity, anger. They have relationships that are unstable but very intense.
Wow.
They don't have a true sense of who they are either.
Interesting.
And because of the feelings of emptiness, people with BPD are constantly seeking something to do and can become bored very easily. Some features associated with BPD are, again, recurrent job loss, interrupted education, and separation or divorce, according to the DSM-5. Another common symptom of BPD is self-harm, which is often the reason they seek help and are diagnosed. If you or someone you know needs any help or are in a crisis, call 988 for immediate help. Just a note as we are talking about this. So I wanted to add that in
Wow.
there.
That is so interesting. All of those symptoms, like, create, like, a personality that I can, like, think of in my head of somebody who, like, has all of those different characteristics. That's so interesting.
It is really interesting because it's one thing to hear a diagnosis, but
Yeah.
to
And I'm glad there is a diagnosis for someone who has all of those characteristics, because
Right.
altogether that's a lot. Like, obviously, that's going to interrupt your life.
and it is hard
affect your
to and it's very hard to diagnose too.
Yeah, that makes
Especially
sense.
when you hear the next one, which is histrionic personality disorder.
Yeah, I haven't heard of
And-
that one.
Oh, that's interesting to me
Yeah.
because
I
my
haven't
first note was how often this was tossed around in the Depp versus Heard trial. Johnny Depp and Amber Heard.
Okay, and I didn't
were
watch that.
they were so sure that Amber Heard is histrionic. And granted, regardless of how you feel about the situation, we are not their clinical
You
providers.
can't diagnose someone based on that trial.
Right. And they did have psychologists who analyzed both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's fair to diagnose someone
Yeah.
when you aren't, one, capable of providing a diagnosis in a clinical setting, and armchair diagnoses just lead to hurt feelings, so I just don't think it's really fair.
Makes sense, yeah.
But I think that also comes with education and continuing to learn, because of course, I mean, we all want to know the why. We all want to have an explanation. We all want to have something to blame.
Yeah.
So I think it's easy to find that, but
Yeah.
I think it's also we again remove ourselves from the situation.
Yeah, that's not our
and
job.
It's not necessary.
Yeah.
So, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So, people with
that's a good
histrionic personality disorder are so uncomfortable not being the center of attention.
Oh.
They display excessive and disingenuous emotionality.
Wow.
They display provocative behavior that is super out of context.
Wow.
They have rapidly shifting and varied emotions and try to gain attention by their physical appearance. People with histrionic personality disorder may be easily influenced and can change their mind rapidly and their opinion. They may also believe that relationships are more intimate than they really are. I saw in one example, I can't remember if it was the DSM-5 or if it was psychiatry.org, but an example was talking about a dear, dear friend when it was
Someone they hardly knew.
really an acquaintance
That's
that
so interesting.
they just don't know.
Yeah.
And so it's really interesting.
I did not know that. I did not know those characteristics could be a symptom. That's so interesting.
But again, I mean, it has to be pervasive, a long-term
Right.
pattern, and meet the other criteria that are in the DSM-5. But it's very interesting. And individuals with HPD are usually very high functioning, and they can keep their job and function day to day.
Yeah.
But they may seek help after so many failed relationships that they perceive to be deeper than they really were. Wow. So
That's so interesting.
it is very interesting. Lastly, we have narcissistic personality disorder. This one I think I hear thrown out the most in conversations.
Yeah, it's thrown out a lot.
And most often it's exaggerating the characteristics of someone who isn't actually a narcissist.
Yeah,
Narcissists are self-centered, manipulative, and arrogant. They require a great deal of admiration, are entitled, and believe that they can only be understood and associate with others of high status. It's not us common folk, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't understand.
Yeah. That's so interesting.
They also believe that others are envious of them, or in turn, they're envious of others.
Yeah.
They expect recognition and lack empathy. And heaven forbid you criticize a narcissist, because you will feel their wrath. But don't let them fool you, because deep down, they take criticism to heart and will feel humiliated and completely just broken. But you'll never know, because they won't show you that.
Wow.
Narcissists may be grandiose and ambitious, which can lead to reaching high achievements, but if you wound their self-image, they can retreat and withdraw. Personality disorders are created by environmental and biological factors. To be diagnosed with a personality disorder, an individual will present with a pattern of thoughts, behaviors, feelings, and emotions listed in the DSM-5. Mental illness isn't a choice, and when we are discussing topics such as these, it's important to remind ourselves of this. While the choice of mental health isn't ours, it is our choice to take care of ourselves and the conditions that we do have. With that being said, take care of yourself and others, drink some water, take your meds, give someone a hug, and see a credentialed professional for your mental health needs.
Yeah. That's a good little wrap up. This immediately, this whole conversation, especially talking about narcissists, makes me immediately want to take back me thinking that that ex-person of mine was a narcissist. I think he had manipulative traits that actually don't even coincide a lot of the time with narcissists. But we kind of throw that
Yeah.
word around a lot because we don't really know how to accept somebody's personality when it's, you know, so different, or when it has, like, you know, traits that make you feel bad in any way. It's kind of like one of those things that we stick a label on to categorize somebody. And it's
Totally.
interesting. So,
Well, and I think the first thing that I was thinking of as I was doing this topic was those sweatshirts that say antisocial social club.
yeah, that's
You know?
scary.
And it's like, you're not actually antisocial.
yeah,
though.
you don't want to be in the psycho club, you know? That's
Well,
pretty
and
much
not
what
all-
it's saying.
Not all antisocial personality
yeah.
disorders are going to be, you know, correlated or lead to psychopathy.
No,
or
it's true.
sociopathy.
It's true. Yeah, it's just interesting how if you look at the other branches of the antisocial personality disorders, I did not realize that that was one of them.
Yeah, and some of these have 9 criteria, and you have to meet 5 of those.
Oh,
Others
interesting.
have 5, and you have to meet 3. I mean, it's just
Wow,
it's
yeah.
really interesting. So I highly recommend, you know, if you're looking or curious as to what those criteria are,
Yeah.
look it up. I mean, it's all out there.
Yeah, that's
it's
so
easy to
wild.
find. It
So
took
wild.
me maybe 2 Google
Yeah.
searches to find the DSM-5. In a PDF format, so it's out there,
Wow.
and I still have it up. It's fascinating. I love it. I
seems like
love
it.
reading it, and what I really like and what I didn't realize the DSM-5 had was associated feature supporting diagnoses, which is you know, kind of explaining, instead of the list of criteria, more of like, this is what it actually looks like in a
Oh,
real
okay.
setting.
Yeah.
This
like
is an
examples. Okay.
Yes.
That's really helpful, I feel like.
It was super helpful, and yeah, again, just incredibly fascinating.
Yeah.
And yeah, the other 2 cluster personalities as well are interesting in and of themselves. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll work on those another time.
Yeah.
I like
That's
it.
what I brought today.
Nice. I liked it.
I feel like all of our things that we talked about today were very us
Yeah.
niche.
Very
So-
us coded.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, it's just funny.
Which is why, you know, we started
Yeah.
the podcast to begin with.
Yeah,
because of-
exactly. It was just a really good example.
yes, the serious differences. We have fitness,
Yeah.
fairies.
Yeah, I mean,
Cluster B.
that's not what I would like to be defined by, but it is. You guys had very defining things today, and I guess being a book nerd is another
Well,
defining characteristic of me.
And it's just a part of you. We're
Yeah.
multifaceted
Yeah,
human
it's
beings,
true.
Yeah, yeah,
but
True
yeah, it's
that.
just a good example of you know who we are and what we find interesting. And,
yeah, and it was just like we all kind of tried to follow a theme last time, and so having, you know, the freedom to talk about whatever we want, this is what we chose.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
It's
kind of
so
liked
funny.
having a theme.
Yeah, the theme
It
was,
was
good
hard.
too.
Like I
Yeah.
thought about it all week, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know,
Yeah,
just do
and
this.
you ended up doing a great job.
Oh, thank you.
well, and I procrastinated
Procrastinated.
Again, I don't think I've ever had a stutter until doing this podcast, but
Yeah.
I procrastinated until last night at 8 p.m. and I finished this at 11 p.m. So
Wow. I didn't
um,
even start till this morning.
okay,
and
well-
I didn't have to do much.
actually it was more like 10, and then I went to bed at 11 because Jasper had to eat at 10:30 because apparently that was when he was hungry, and then I had to let him out to go to the bathroom. And
Yeah.
anyway, it was a
whole
whole thing.
thing.
But so I'm tired, and
Yeah.
thank you guys for all sticking with us through this delirium.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was a weird episode. I feel
It
like.
was.
It was a weird vibe, but I hope you all enjoy.
Had a good time with you guys. It was great.
Had a good
It
time
was,
too.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Relatively Funny. We'd love to hear your feedback, and we hope you tune in next week.
Cool.
Nice.
Bye, guys.